A majestic homecoming for Stone Cold Steve Austin sees the Rattlesnake drop KO with the Stone Cold Stunner, locking in the victory. Austin sets a WrestleMania record with 20 years going between WrestleMania wins, as his previous victory at the event was over Scott Hall at 2002's WrestleMania 18. Cheers to Stone Cold. Moving on, we arrive at WrestleMania 39. Last year's spectacular that played host to many show-stopping moments, and night one was where we got to watch the scintillating rematch between Judgment Day's Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. The two first met at WrestleMania 36, when Charlotte, the winner of the 2020 Women's Royal Rumble match, used her guaranteed championship match to call out then NXT Women's Champion Ripley. It was a competitive affair, but Charlotte walked out with the victory and the NXT Women's title. 3 years later, though, things had changed. Ripley had arrived to the main roster, and at WrestleMania 37, she defeated Asuka to become Raw Women's Champion. Unfortunately, a few months later at Money in the Bank 2021, Ripley would again face Charlotte and would again lose her championship by submission. So when Rhea won the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble match, entering at number 1 for the record, she wasted little time to make her challenge. The next night on Raw, she'd lay it out to the woman that had stopped her momentum on more than one occasion, the 7-time women's champion and the queen herself, Charlotte Flair. On a night one that featured incredible action and immortal legends, Ripley and Flair would deliver a performance that could not be denied. Charlotte eternally defending her status as top woman in WWE, and Ripley with her golden opportunity to vanquish the ghosts of WrestleMania past. One thing was clear. If Ripley was going to get it done, she'd have to avoid Charlotte's vaunted figure 8, which had twice been her undoing. If she could do that, her path to victory was clear. That's usually everyone's plan against Charlotte, but she still seems to find it one way or another. Can you put the perfect attack together and defeat Charlotte Flair, or will you, like so many before, end up bowing down to the Queen? Let's go to night one of WrestleMania 39 and find out. Rhea Ripley wanted to prove that a new generation was ready to take over the throne that the Queen had occupied. But that's easier said than done against Charlotte Flair. She had counters for Irish whips, big boots to stop oncoming attacks, and was willing to take to the sky to defeat her challenger. Charlotte was starting off strong. was too early to write off Ripley. She proved that when she caught Charlotte on her shoulders and spiked her into the top turnbuckle. Charlotte crumbled to the mat, and just like that, her quick start was a thing of the past. And now Ripley had her choice of how to punish the champion next. Rhea had continued to put her brutality on display, ready to finish Charlotte surprisingly early. The Queen surprised Rhea with enough fight left in her to counter with an emphatic DDT. The cover may have only gotten a 2 count, but Charlotte Flair had reset the tempo and was now firmly in the driver's seat. Rhea started hitting Charlotte with some big shots. And even then, when it looked like Charlotte was rocked, she once again used her experience to find a counter. These were the moves of a seasoned veteran, stifling her aggressive challenger at every turn. The champ took a minute to compose herself before popping back to her feet, showing that despite the damage thus far, she was just fine, thank you. Charlotte was in her element, staring at the crowd filled with her loyal subjects. But with Ripley down, she had to act fast. As she has so many times, Charlotte looked to perform her spectacular moonsault. Ripley saw it coming and pulled out one of the most devastating moves of the entire match, a super German suplex that turned Charlotte inside out. How Charlotte kicked out, we may never know. At this point, you could see the resignation on the face of Rhea Ripley. If that super German suplex wasn't going to put Charlotte away, what was? But you can't give up in moments like these. This is where Rhea was going to show us exactly what she was made of. A rare double knockout brought the action to a halt, as these two were proving to be more evenly matched than initially anticipated. But it was Charlotte who appeared to be the fresher competitor, getting to her feet first, and then nearly taking Rhea's head off with a huge running boot to the face. Ripley was now struggling to keep up with Charlotte, who saw the chance to connect with something big. Knowing what was coming, the fans grew louder while Charlotte ascended to the top turnbuckle. And they exploded when she connected with the moonsault to the floor. Rhea's talk of a new generation was looking silly, with Charlotte absolutely dominating her. Once Charlotte got back in the ring, she wanted the figure eight, but Ripley had it scouted, able to kick herself free, and avoiding a Charlotte spear attempt. With Charlotte distracted by the official, Rhea would unleash a monstrous headbutt and connect with Riptide. But Charlotte shocked the crowd again, managing to kick out at 2. Rhea Ripley looked lost for the first time in the contest. Was Charlotte's refusal to just stay down starting to affect Rhea's confidence? But now wasn't the time to panic. That's what Charlotte Flair wanted from Ripley. That's what makes Charlotte Flair so great, so dangerous. Her ability to just survive will have you questioning everything you once believed. Rhea and Charlotte both wore the effects of the battle on their faces and both refused to stop fighting. Rhea needed this redemption. Charlotte needed to prove she was still the top woman in WWE. But it was Rhea who went down first, and Charlotte was ready, again looking for her world-renowned figure eight. Before Charlotte could bridge up though, Ripley, as she'd done the entire match, avoided being locked in the hold, this time grabbing the ropes to force the break. Ripley's growth was obvious. She'd tapped out to the figure eight before, but tonight was ready to counter it at every single opportunity. And now it was Charlotte Flair who looked lost in there. For the first time, it was the veteran displaying a bit of panic, much like Ripley had earlier in the battle. But Charlotte knew not to let that panic set in and went right back to work. Whatever it was going to take to defeat Ripley, Charlotte would figure it out. And it was in this moment that Ripley refused to go quietly, elbowing herself free. Then slamming Charlotte's face into the ring post. I remember seeing Charlotte just stop moving, and now it started to feel like this epic contest was about to reach its end. It almost seemed like a foregone conclusion, which is what Rhea Ripley had insisted it was the whole time, as she cradled Charlotte and absolutely folded her in half with a monumental riptide off the second rope. All that was left was to count to 3 and crown Rhea Ripley the new SmackDown Women's Champion. The emotion on Ripley's face as she put the demons of 3 years prior to rest showed just how badly she wanted it. If it's not the greatest women's match at WrestleMania, it's easily in the top 3. Charlotte appeared both disappointed, yet almost excited for new challenges. Maybe she was just accepting having come up short against the better superstar and losing fair and square. Judgment Day had indeed arrived for the Queen, and now Mommy was leaving with the SmackDown Women's Gold.